And we're live. Hello, everyone watching. Welcome to the SEO news of week 7. That's last week, where we get all the SEO news and discuss them. I've got my co host Casper and the other co host Linus. We all work at Precis Digital. My name is Frederick Drost, the best SEO agency in the world, almost, hopefully. And yeah, let's just dive right into the news. Actually, there's a lot of tools updates here this week. Just noticed that. The first one here is a small Python script that finds duplicates and near duplicate pages using embeddings. We actually have several tools, and even in our Looker Studio reports, to help find duplication in the index. But what's here, it's cool, is that it's using Google's NLP, Natural Language Processing API. And I think it's doing a little bit more than that. So just a very interesting script that we, of course, will check out as well and perhaps integrate. People are trying this ChatGPT deep research thing. I don't think I could unlock it. I don't know. Have you guys checked this out? No. So now in ChatGPT you can press web search, so you can search in the web and find information, and that's actually been working out quite well when I wanted documentation on like APIs and stuff like that. But some guy on LinkedIn here posted that he did this deep research thing, and it started. He could do an analysis of the blog content, how much they posted, did their topics change over a certain period. I find that unlikely to be. I'm very skeptical about those results. So basically, what I'm saying with this piece of news is just try it, but verify. And if it matches what we're seeing in our analysis, then it becomes a really valuable tool. Until then, I'm not trusting it. It seems a little bit too good to be true. Like, how is it getting? I mean, okay, can it crawl the structured data? Can it get the dates? Does it do all that in the background? And how fast is that? Seems a bit like too good to be true. And then we've got this lovely post here, an interesting post on Core Web Vitals. And so again, this is very much an opinionated piece with some facts, I think. And the whole discussion here is Core Web Vitals, do they impact rankings? That is the question I think we ask a lot. We know it impacts user experience, conversion rates. Google Ads also uses Core Web Vitals, I think, to an extent. They want to send people to a nice result. And what he's coming up with here as a theory is that Google, which I kind of agree with, Google basically comes out with these Core Web Vitals, says it helps rankings, but what it really does is it helps Google use less resources because people optimize their websites. It's cheaper for Google to crawl an index. I find that that's a good theory. Google has done this in the past. And overall, what is your thoughts on Core Web Vitals and how they impact rankings? I'm curious about that.
I think, first of all, that point is moot, or however you call it. Of course, Google enjoys improved site speed because it's cheaper, but that's what we like as humans as well. Like, I would not want to wait the extra amount of time. It like, to put it into absolute terms, that would also be more expensive for me as an individual. It's like, I don't see how this, like, they're not mutually exclusive.
No,
I think this, like,
it's a win-win.
Of course. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that point, yeah, I get that. Like, right, and I just want to jump in quickly and say we did a project for a large website that really went server side, and their LCPs, all those numbers dropped, and the rankings improved. And there was no other factor we could decide. That was definitely that. So and that was maybe a year and a half ago. So maybe that has changed, but that was a big change in rankings. And the question I have is, he's saying there's no direct impact on rankings, but if there's user signals that Google uses in Chrome, we know they send it back. There's a bunch of user signals that are being sent back. And if those improve, Google ranks them better. So is that not, that's an indirect relation?
Yeah, that is indirect. Yeah, it is indirect because it's not this fact that the site is better, or like it's more the fact that people are actually staying on the site instead of bouncing constantly. Yep. So it's the bounce rate that's going to be the ranking factor here. I think one of his statements here is that it's overhyped, and while I agree a little bit with the fact that a lot of people have been like over focusing on Core Web Vitals, I don't think it's necessarily like too hyped. I think as Linus mentions, it does make sense that we want to improve the website as much as possible, and we want to make the user experience as good as possible here. So I think he mentions also in the LinkedIn post here, which is quite a long LinkedIn post, that he hasn't seen any improvement in rankings. Where in the comments there is a lot saying, "Well, I did," and
Yeah,
you
I
say
did.
the same here, Frederick. So I think whether or not it's direct or indirect, it does improve rankings to have a better site. And as Linus mentions, like not having a site that takes way too long to load, or some layout shift that's just annoying and makes me, that's one of the worst things in the world. Like if there's too much layout shift, that completely throws me off on a website, and I'm immediately going back, and that definitely have an impact on the user experience, and it definitely will have an indirect impact on the
Google
rankings.
track it? That's the thing, and yes, it does. So it seems like with Chrome, well, what will happen when Chrome gets away from Google's ecosystem? Who knows? But like, I love one of these comments here that also states that it depends on the competitors. Like, if you're in the top 5 and everyone is like top notch Core Web Vitals and you stink, that could be. We always took it as a tiebreaker. So in Precis, it was like, unless they're really bad, the Core Web Vitals, we put it low prior in terms of technical SEO improvements, I suppose, tickets. It's low prior because we know it's complicated. And I think what he's saying is some people overinvest. Well, they, instead of fixing, okay, your LPC is like, or LCP, sorry, is like, 5 seconds. Well, okay, maybe get it down to 2, get it in the green, yellow, and that's it. But people try to get it to a certain level where that doesn't make sense. And I think, compared to your competitors, you can see it. The Croc VIX is now super easy. You don't have to create a report. You can just, the Crux, I'll show it for people watching the video here. Just put in your domain and you get over time. So you can see your competitors and see how they're doing. And I think that's a good point as well. And again, maybe he also reports wrong. He says, oh, we didn't see any improvements on rankings. Well, what about conversion rates? What about Google Ads? What about, anything else?
People staying on the site, exactly. Like there can be a lot of different advantages from doing this. So I have to say I don't really agree on it. I can see his point in some things, but like I don't really agree on it. In general.
I'm like, I agree with the Google theory, but I think Google sees it as a win-win, and then it prioritizes it more. And Google has prioritized this, the reports, the data sets, but it's a win-win for Google. So why wouldn't they prioritize this? It's win-win for all.
I completely agree on the fact that you shouldn't obsess about Core Web Vitals. No. And if everything is looking okay, but you feel like, okay, we can still improve, like it shouldn't necessarily be the top priority here, because there's a lot of different things that we know will have a bigger impact on your rankings as well, and your performance in general. So you shouldn't obsess over Core Web Vitals here. Yeah. But
here's his theory. Maybe he posted this to get credits and a lot of likes and people discussing it on LinkedIn. Maybe I should try and be more controversial.
You should.
SEO is resurrected. That's my new thing. Instead of dead, it's resurrected. I just resurrected it with a Frankenstein GIF. It's alive.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think we're kind of on the same page, and that's why we still work together almost. Yes, Casper is leaving us, sadly, for something better. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we'll get a new co-host. Don't you worry. We'll get a new co-host. Not as good, but new. Good. All right, let's move on. That was a long discussion, but worth it, I think. This one is interesting. HubSpot grew their profits despite Google downranking them like apparently millions of search results. I think it's interesting that this is a kind of a follow-up of a person on LinkedIn that was complaining about, he was one of those, SEO is dead, I'll never work on SEO again. Look at HubSpot, they have a blog, they've done content for years, and look at the rankings drop. And he was like, oh, there's no logic to the drop. And I was like, that looks maybe like it's just a cleanup. And so did the traffic drop just because the rankings did? What keywords did it do? And it turns out HubSpot did a few shady internal redirect backlinking schemes, which that's not good. And also their revenue still grew. Now, can we directly tie that revenue into that? No, perhaps not. But the lesson, I think, is, you drop rankings, look at your traffic, look at why, look at the keywords. They most likely might make sense in many cases. So look through the noise. And any remember sharing this internally? Did you guys hop on that discussion as well on LinkedIn?
I don't remember if I hopped on it, but have you seen like some of the HubSpot results that were degraded? like it makes sense from where Google is going at the moment with like needs to be helpful content, and a lot of those articles and a lot of that was definitely not helpful content. So like it kind of makes sense, and I also think it was luck through bad luck. I don't know how you say it, but like HubSpot got a lot of attention from this, so that might have also helped a little bit. There was a lot of talks on HubSpot on the like getting some traffic in as well, people searching for it. So, but yeah,
not sure if that increases revenue though. It's just SEOs.
No, yeah, it's true. It's just a lot of
you.
SEOs.
Yeah. The conversions dropped. Like, like what happened? There's so many. Nobody wants to convert because we're just SEOs being curious. Just, what kind of
just
shit?
Casper going into the website like 100 times a day.
Exactly. But yeah, we'll follow this closely. I think if it's actually worth a debate again in the future. Next up. Crux, the Crux report now offers granular LCP image subpart data. Wow. RTT, I think, was something, I can't remember now. I haven't had time to actually deep dive, but there's updated metrics that enhances SEO and page performance analysis. Go have a look. Yeah, nice. So again, tying it into the focus that Google has on this stuff. Apparently it is important. Andrew Charlton, director of Crawl SEO, writing that Google search isn't dead. Sorry, SEO isn't dead. So again, not resurrected, but isn't dead. Never was dead. Always been here. Despite AI advancement, again, not reading the TLDR here, but the main point is that AI is taking part of Google search that they weren't really good at, like how to do this, how to do that. I think that's one of the examples is the problem-solving synthesis. So people will still search for products. And I think the big challenge for products, or what we have to adapt to, is the AI overviews and how they will integrate commercial searches. And I think, if I'm not here, Aleda Solis has a good tip on start tracking AI results for commercial and transactional queries. That is the next phase here. It's been very informational, and Google will try and adapt AI overviews to commercial and transactional. So she's starting to look at this, and we should do this for our clients and our websites as well. So yeah, actually, these two tie in together perfectly. Honestly, to jump around a little bit. Any comments on this?
Yeah, I think we've known for quite some time that Google search isn't dead. That it's just changing. I think we know that.
I'm still getting paid, so something.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I read as well today that in the AI overviews that YouTube accounts for, I think it's like 41% of all AI overviews within the healthcare. It's a very specific one, but like 41% of the results in the AI overviews are YouTube videos, for instance. 25%. It has risen by 25% in AI overviews throughout 2025. So there is like a big focus on more of an omni-channel SEO approach here. So we have to focus on optimizing our YouTube, optimizing, I want to say TikTok, but like these other platforms where you can actually use them as a search engine as well, because those are getting more integrated into Google search as well. So I think, especially with the AI overview, and now we unfortunately doesn't have them here in Denmark. Would be nice to see, but like in the US,
thank God,
there is definitely
thank God.
But there's definitely going to be some like changes in how we work with.
Isn't it Europe that doesn't have them? Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, it's Europe.
Yeah, right. Europe is like, whoa, hold up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Exactly. So there's definitely some there, but yeah, I think it's just Google search isn't dead. I think that's true. Right. It's just focusing.
Casper said it. You heard it here first. Casper and Linus agrees too, I suppose, right?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. So
we're waiting for Casper to say it. So
well, if we
stand in agreement.
If we all agree, then it's true. That's it.
Exactly.
We shut this debate down for good. You hear that, LinkedIn? Cool. All right. Let's move on here. A Google Chrome extension for comparing weekdays. So if you have a client where like weekdays are fluctuating a lot, weekends, etc. Well, if you compare long, like in like time, you can actually do this with a little Chrome extension now. That's a smart little thing. Google site link bug showing unhelpful links. Isn't that every year that there's a Google site link bug? Because I remember last year having clients, they're like, this is bad site links. Feels like every year there's a bug, or maybe Google just never fixes it.
Yeah, I think they never fix it.
Yeah, the big one here, the example they have in the article is the site links linked to like Japanese, but you're in US, the language US, VPN. Like, why would I want Japanese? So the big you can no snippet if you actually have a page in those side links that are really not interesting, you can use the no snippet tag. That you might want the Japanese though to be somewhere else, and so just be careful when you use this no snippet, because that might be a valuable site link in Japan. Who knows? So, but if there's definitely a page that like you never need in there, you can no snippet it. There's a tag for that. Just Google it. Google has documentation on it. And yeah, so we'll see next year when the new other bug comes. This one I love. Can AI content be copyrighted? According to US law, it seems like you need human creativity in order to be able to copyright this. Precise's stance on AI content is we can use content to enhance and improve the process of the creation, but we definitely recommend human. We have workshops with people working with content. We are not just advising to publish AI content. No way. What's interesting is now there's another argument for that, which is if you just publish AI content without any human extra, juice, people could just literally copy it. And, if you have a higher domain rating, you might start ranking for it. You can literally copy the blog and it's legal. Now, it's still duplicate in Google's eyes, but is maybe a day or two change in publication date? Does Google really know who started to publish it? So if you're good at scraping automatically, you might be in trouble. So that's another argument. And then just a small little here, a marketeer at Ahrefs. I could not find the original post. But she says 63% of websites now receive AI traffic. It seems to correlate all the reports we have, and we do track referrals from AI engines in our SEO reports. It seems like most of them are in the green, and they're going slowly up. So those AI, like Perplexity, ChatGPT, SearchGPT, they are putting more and more links in, which I think is good. Instead of rehashing content, give me the source, summarize something and give me the source for further reading. That is how you excite people to create good content. But if you just copy it and throw it into ChatGPT, you get sued perhaps, but also I don't want to write anymore. So I think it's a really, really good direction they're going in, and it's probably something they've programmed in to do more. So let's just keep that going. If you're listening, Sam Altman, probably not.
We love you, Sam.
Yeah. Comment down below. But yeah, that's it for the news. Thank you everyone for watching. Please like and subscribe. I will post every week, every Monday or Tuesday. I'll post this, and we'll have a summary. And yeah, if you're listening, Spotify, like it as well. Subscribe. So just so you know, this is normally it's a YouTube video, but there's also a podcast format now. So if you're listening, you probably know already, but there's a choice. I'll link to it in the video description as well.
Thanks, Sam Altman, for making a great product.
Yeah. Non-profit. Very much non-profit. Yeah. Elon Musk, if you're watching this, comment as well. I'm assuming too much here, but have a great day, everyone watching, and I'll see you in the next one.